Hello, and welcome to the August 2022 market update. What we're going to be talking about today is we got the final numbers for the Chico market for all the sales results in August for 2022, and we're going to be comparing those to August of 2021 and then talking about some interesting points within that information with it. So jumping right into it, what we saw for August of 2022 is we saw that there were 96 new listings that hit the market, which was a decrease of 16.5%. We also saw 307 active listings in the market, which was an increase of 28.5%. And we saw 106 pending homes, which was a decrease of 3.6%. And we saw 84 homes that were sold, which was a decrease of 30.6%. And then overall, we saw a median sales price of $448,000, which was an increase of 2.2%. And what we're going to talk about today is what's interesting within that. So some of it has just been a continuation. If you've been following some of our videos or if you are subscribed to our monthly newsletter, we've talked about these things over the last couple of months, namely that with the rising interest rates, there's been a little bit of an increase of inventory on the market with it. Nothing that's really alarming or concerning, but overall, buyers are having more choices because more homes have hit the market than what are selling with it. So the supply has increased a little bit. And overall, this was needed and a healthy change with it. So it's nothing we're really concerned about, but it's just a continuation of that. And so you saw that with the active listings that was up 28% compared to August of 2021. Now, in comparison, we were seeing some really historical lows for inventory last year with it. So that's really just a reflection of the massive supply and demand imbalance that we saw last summer with it. Interestingly, we did see 96, which was 16% less new listings hitting the market. So really what we saw is that more homes kind of spilled over that were already on the market from June and July into August with it, which is why we have an increase of active listings. However, we had a decrease of ones that actually hit the market in August compared to August last year. So overall, when we talk about the active listings, that's what we saw over the course of the month. That's not what we have active at any given moment. As of right now, we have just a little bit short of 160 homes active on the Chico market. To give you some context, that was closer to generally around 70 to 80 homes on the market last August. However, those were not healthy numbers, which is why we saw the market behaving like it did last summer. So the other interesting thing that we saw is that even though there are a lot more homes hitting the market, pending homes, the homes that went under contract for August, actually was only down 3.6%, which is a pretty small decrease given the increase of inventory with it. So overall, we're still selling about the same amount of homes that went pending over the course of the month with it. So demand really didn't drop off as a result of having all these active listings with it. Instead, demand stayed pretty steady with what we saw for August of 2021. Now, what we did see is we saw the number of homes that sold that actually closed and were off of the market with it. That decreased quite a bit, down by 30.6%. So that was definitely something where, and really that's kind of a lagging measure where that's just a reflection of what went pending in July and then closed in August for a lot of those homes with it. So really what that's telling us is July was quite a bit slower this last month compared to July of 2021. The ones that went pending was quite a bit slower with it, which is now why we're seeing August having so many less homes that actually closed. And the other interesting point we saw in the data was the median sales price, right? So ultimately we have more active homes than what we had last summer or last August. But we only saw the median sales price. We actually saw it increase. Home prices actually increased 2.2%. Compared to last August with it. And so I think that's kind of the most interesting factor out of all of this is that even though we saw a lot more active homes on the market this last month with it, we still saw home prices a little bit higher than what they were last summer. What gives, you might be wondering. So really what we've kind of seen with the pricing for 2022 for the Chico market specifically is that it started the year January and it's gone up quite a bit with it. And now as interest rates have increased with it, we've seen the prices kind of level off and start to go down a little bit in the area with it. However, where we're going down a little bit price-wise and where it's softening a little bit or leveling it out, it's still not lower than where we were back last August with it. And we have quite a bit to go before we get back under that number. So that's kind of still speaks to the supply and demand imbalances we have currently in the market. We hear about that a lot with it. But to give you some context, in the US, we're estimated to be somewhere short around 2 to 4 million homes. That's what's needed to meet our current population. There's a deficit of that many homes with it. And ultimately right now, construction is not keeping up with that. So what's anticipated is we're still going to have some supply and demand imbalances probably for a while. So I don't think we're going to see the extreme price increases into 2023 that we saw over the last 2 years with it. I think we're going to see more of a normalization and kind of more flat or slow price growth with it. But we're not seeing massive price decreases, and that's reflected in that the median sales price still being up 2.2% compared to last year. So I hope this information was helpful for you, and until next time, have a great week, guys.